Hello, I hope everyone's having a spectacular day. This month is May. It's the month of May, and mental health has joined in as one of the awarenesses for this month. And I thought that this would be the perfect time to speak on it, being that we're all at home during the pandemic, people's anxiety, mental, it's the mental strain on life for some, financially speaking for some, it's physical, some it is mental, some it is financial. But at the end of the day, all of that goes back to mental health. And I want to speak on how the pandemic has a strain on, or has put a strain on me mentally wise. For mentally, not so bad. Um, I'm at home anyway. So, as far as being at home doesn't bother me, but not being able for my grandchildren, my children to come in and out, my visits, my social life, to come in and out and visit me as they used to, for us getting together and going to a restaurant, so to say, and going to the park with the grandkids, things of that nature is what's getting the best of me. Now, I want to say this. As the black culture, we are not the ones that want to admit to mental health. That is one doctor we will run from. The doctor's at the top of the list when it comes to us running away from. And bottom of the list when it comes to us running to. I want to read this passage right here to you. Since 1949, Mental Health America and other affiliates across the country have led the observance of May is Mental Health Month by reaching millions of people through the media, social events, and screenings. We welcome our organizations to join us in spreading the word that mental people is something everyone should care about by using the May is Mental Month toolkit materials and conducting awareness activities. While 1 in 5 people will experience a illness during their lifetime, everyone faces challenges in life that can impact their mental health. Hey Shay, how you doing, babes? Okay, all right, go ahead. I'm just reading some of the information I gathered up. Go ahead, do what you're doing. I'll give you back your wrench. I'll explain why I did that about the wrenches. Okay, keep doing what you're doing. Um, let's see, where was I on my list? Let's start back here. While 1 in 5 people will experience a mental illness during their lifetime, everyone faces challenges in life that can impact our mental health. In 2020, our theme of tools to try to thrive, will provide practical tools that everyone can use to improve their mental health and increase regardless of the situations they are dealing with. We now believe that these tools, even those that may need to be adapted for the short term, because of COVID-19 and social distancing will be more useful than ever. So they have set aside things for us just during COVID to help us to get past that because people are really having a hard time. I mean, being in the house after a month. I mean, I can't imagine a man that brings home all the money and he's been home after a month. He's looking at his kids, looking at his wife, looking at his bills. Unemployment hasn't started. I just can't imagine. I can't imagine. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to work on the things that can kind of help you out a little bit if this is where you are right now in life. Um, Even though we're practicing social distancing, it's important that we get out of the house every day. When I say out of the house, I don't mean actually having to get in the car and go anywhere. But if you stay where there is an area that you can get to, that you can just walk out there, get some fresh air, maybe take the kids out there and just sit down, maybe read a book, anything like being in the house is a lot. And if you're not used to it, and then after 30 days, it can be a lot. Put the family in the car, go for a ride, go for ice cream. May have to grab it right at the door at a drive through window, but go through with it. Hey, Diving, y'all can grab the link and come up if you want to when y'all get ready. And we're discussing mental health, and especially for a man. And I actually saw on TV where some guys had went to go play golf, and they went on and they did their golf, and they just made sure they stayed 6 feet away from each other and went on with life. But this is a hard time right now. Kids at home from school, you're looking at your husband every day. Who wants that? I mean, don't get me wrong. I didn't mean to sound like that. I mean, but where is your break as a woman? Where is your break? Well, she said, just around today. What you mean, babe? Slide. Oh, you should. What is that? What is that? Somebody else surfing today? You went surfing today, Diamond? I hope so. It's good. Anything that you can find that you can use. Because I'm going to tell you, you sit on this computer, it will drive you to drink. And the sad part is, we don't know when this pandemic will be over. So we've got to find other social outlets that, still we can't be, more than 10 people. Because we're opening back up tomorrow. And you can still got to wear your mask. Groups of 10 people. It's just me and my husband here, and we be about to pull each other's hair out. We actually have to separate from rooms. It's only for me. I like my me time, and without my me time, I get crazy. I get crazy, which I take anxiety medicine anyway. Um, but depression and anxiety is one of those things that can come up for females. Comes on from various of angles. Um, caregiving basic. What you need to know. Okay, this is when you're a caregiver for someone. All right. The following information forms the documents will assist you to love one to have a voice in your care and an equal opportunity in work, treatment, school, everyday life as they live with a mental illness. As you encourage your child or family member to use the tools before they become more involved in their treatment, feel more in control, and become more independent. And when we say use your tools, if you have a child or a family member that you're taking care of that has some form of mental illness, you know, by if they're acting out, say for instance, and they don't, you're trying to get them to calm down. Well, you may be able to get your one child calmed down in one way, but it may take something different to calm the other child down in the other way. So that's what we'll be focusing on today. And I would like for y'all to chime in on if y'all, especially if y'all experience it, haven't experienced it. And I'm not talking about just child. It can be your mom, your dad, your sister, whoever. If you have any kind of affected, I don't have depression, but once a month it's a nightmare. Um, I'm going through menopause right now. I have anxiety after yin yang. I mean, my anxiety is so bad. Like if you tell me that you're afraid of something, say if you got a court date coming up Thursday, and you be like, Crystal, I am so scared. Yeah, I will be just as nervous for you. I have to take my medication. My anxiety is real. I don't even want to ride with certain people on the road because it is real. Um, here, let me read you some of your legal rights first. Psychiatrics advanced. Then I want to. I'm nobody's psychiatrist. I'm just, but I had to use some of their advice. So I do want to read it. A psychiatrist advance directive is a document that allows an individual with mental illness to determine what type of care they need, like to receive in a crisis. It is filled out when the individual is mentally stable and they are encouraged to carry it with them. It is recommended to discuss and share this document with the individual's primary care physician, therapist, and other medical professionals they regularly meet with. Copies should be also given to any formal caregivers as they can act as an advocate for the individual's request during a mental health crisis. Now, this should have been I had not did this yet when I'm actually on medication for anxiety. Yeah, right as we speak. This I had not did this one, but I wish I had did this one the other night when we were in Jay Wilson's chapter because someone was trying to explain that the stuff about VS and her being a mental patient or she wasn't able to. It didn't matter, but that person got chewed up. But because if she'd had this paper stating that she wasn't able to stand in, if you wasn't well, if you wasn't comparable to stay comparable in order to stand trial, then she would have had this piece of paper to carry with her. So clearly, when they, tested her, researched her, checked her out, they checked her out to be fine, evidently, because she stood trial. Um, you can learn more about this information from psychiatric advance directives, and they're right here on TV. I mean, on the computer. Then take you right where you need to go, and you can do it as a step-by-step guide. Mental health position statement um, on psychiatrist advanced health. Uh, Now, Health Insurance Portable by Accountable Act. Understanding the role of a HIPAA is important for both the individual and the mental illness that they caregiver. HIPAA regulations gives a patient the right to share or keep the information private and explain what information providers can and cannot disclose to people other than the patient. As caregivers understand HIPAA regulations that will better able to help their family members. Now here to this one, I have a that one I think needs to be twerked a little bit, and it's the only one when they have a mental health problem, and it's one if they have one that they can be a little aggressive, maybe even to the point of maybe hitting someone, fighting someone. I feel like that whoever they're around, needs to know that. Don't let something happen before you decide to pull out that piece of paper that I was talking about a few minutes ago, that they can have the evaluation and the doctor, the psychiatrist, and the patient has. But yet, if they share not, if they don't want to share any of that information, they don't have to. But you might have little Sarah over here, and little Sarah might be just as strong as a 22-year-old man. Little Sarah might just snap your neck with her hand. Or we might need to know that. And when I worked in childcare, that was an issue. That was an issue we had. There was a lot of young guy. He was considered schizophrenic. And he snapped on that teacher in that 4-year room. And I was across the hall in my room. And thank God I was able to get up and go over there. Little Sarah already had her down on the floor. So I had to take the kids and bring them across the hall, put them in my room, get them to safe, close the door, then go over there and get little Sarah up. Little Sarah, what's wrong with you? You know, my mental issue had to kick in. You know, being black, you have a little mental issue anyway. You know, I just kind of, you know how you grab your child around the waist. I grabbed her around the waist and took her down to the office. Said, "Here, y'all do what y'all need to do." I went on back, and by the time I got back, that teacher had bruises and stuff already. And then when the mom get there, she says, "We deal with this kind of stuff at home." Well, you should have told us. Because what if she did it on another child her age? Then there's another family we gotta talk to. So thing. That's something when it comes to mental illness. Okay. Okay. We're gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you about family medical leave. Under the Family Medical Leave Act, a caregiver is allowed up to Shay, listen to this, up to 12 weeks of unpaid time off in a month period to help a parent, a child, or a spouse who has a serious illness. All employers covered by FMLA, are required to grant its allowance the job protection to provide who all or public agencies, federal, state, local, and schools, and private sectors who have 50 more employees or at least 20 worksheets in employees who are personal affected by film condition and restrictions. The ability to fulfill work duties in the United States a labor of law. Simply states if you can follow that guideline, you'll be able to get unpaid family leave time. So when you go home, you may see if you can get family leave time when you go to check on your mom. Okay, let's see. Conservatorship is someone who is mandatory by the court to be in charge. Okay, conservatorship. Conservatorship is someone who is mandatory by court to be in charge of legal, financial, healthcare decisions when an individual is considered mentally incapable of making decisions for themselves. Most often, a conservator and a spouse or adult child, if a family member is not considered able to take on the position of the conservator, a professional may be hired, and an individual can avoid the possibility of having a conservating lawyer or legally assigned if you formally declare a power of attorney. And I'm gonna step out the box a little bit right there because when you have any kind of, if that parent is physically not able to get around good, or a child, or if they're getting older to the point where you see that they're losing money, misusing money, it's time for a power of attorney when that happens. Um, Financial aid, paying for care, mental health treatment can be expensive, and often people do get treatments on this reason, regardless of your insurance and income. There are all ways to receive treatment. One, many people with the medical illnesses are able to apply for disability through the government. Then it's a spot here for them to click to see if you or a loved one may apply. Social Security disability is another spot. Um, there are other caregiving options that the state covers with Medicaid, Medicare, Children's Health Program. In addition to insurance programs, some clinical and organizations provide inexpensive treatments dependent um, depending on the consumer's income. Help prescription access program helps individuals get needed prescriptions, which they learn more about. Um, Achieving a better life. I don't know if you are interested. There was some other things that I wanted to share, which this is something that I will probably be working on for the next 2 days. Cause this mental health thing is serious, very serious. Y'all know we see them all day, every day. If you are a caregiver of someone with mental health, it is normal to have unprepared, or confused, or how to help them. Feelings inadequate are common, but remember, you are alone, and there is always professional help available. Oh, hey, boss chick, how you doing? Shay, can you get in contact with Miss DR? She needs to be on here so she can hear this stuff for her grandbaby. Educated. A good place to start is to become educated about mental health. Learn about mental health in general. Your loved ones in practical situations and what to do in case of an emergency. If your loved one has received a mental health diagnosis, look up look up information on the particular illnesses from reliable sources. Your family member, friend, knows your feelings best. So talk with them. Ask open ended. Ask them like, how does it feel? Or what makes it worse? Is there anything I do that makes it worse? If so, what? When do you feel good? What things help you feel better? Okay, that's good. Thanks, boss chick. She at work chicken in. We're talking about mental health. May is it's a whole lot of awarenesses, but mental health is one of them. I thought I would jump on it because sorry guys, my finger hit the wrong thing. Okay. All right, here we go. As you begin more knowledge about mental health in general and specifically about your special loved ones, mental health condition, you will be better to prepare them. Okay. Give freedom. This tip can be scary for you as the caregiver and potential for the individual. You are help, that beginner said. It is crucial and will help your loved ones recover more effectively. It will help them become resilient for future setbacks, giving a person the freedom to choose what treatment they want to receive, why they eat, okay, where they live, who they who they associate with, their work status, and other decisions. This quote here, I am assuming they're talking about maybe a family member that lives in another house, not necessarily in the house with them because of the options that I'm reading that's given to the person. Because I don't think those are options you would give someone living with you. Self determination is the best process in the family and among caregivers together with your family remember with your family members or friends. Evaluate what conditions you love one currently makes and discuss things that are being done for them, which can be done on their own. For example, Some people choosing where they live and when, wait a minute, and whom they live with may help them. Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Feel confident, empower, and strengthen and recover. For others, those decisions may not be, overwhelming and overwhelming or increase of with anxiety. It is the case, brainstorm other areas where they can practice themselves of leisure time activities to pursue the resource as a great guide for your loved one to fill out their own. Lord. Okay, also to this person, be a friend. Individuals with mental illnesses may feel isolated, especially if, say, severities of other illnesses prevents from participating in certain activities or working on the best things. For a person with a mental illness is having good friends and family members, they genuinely live fine, remaining integrated in, in society, relationships, and family dynamics. It's beneficial for the recovery process. And it, of course, always take care of yourself. Those you give care to, uh, those you give care to, others are more likely to become physically, mentally unwell. Approximately one out of every five caregivers of a person with mental illness has depression themselves. The stress, worry, and emotional roller coaster let people being a caregiver use sequence, consequences. Consequences. Sorry, if you do not take care of yourself, the following are the followings are things you can do as a caregiver in order to produce the risk of becoming physically and mentally unwell. And that is take time for yourself, care for your own physical and mental health, continue to go to your own doctor, doing things you enjoy by yourself and with your particular loved ones and friends. Taking a few minutes of yourself every day will help you to recharge and help more effectively. You can feel selfish by taking these times out, but you're not. Remember, it will help you both. Make sure you get enough sleep. Find enough sleep to sleep or sleeping without worrying is often hard for caregivers, but not enough of sleep commonly leads to making poor decisions, making people a priority, a crucial to best helping their loved ones. If you are having trouble falling asleep, staying asleep, or being rested when you wake up, and they have a line here for you, the National Sleep Foundation. And see, that's where I fall in there, but I'm on meds for that. Exercise. Exercise not only keeps you physical well, but also increases your mental health. These who caregivers commonly feel they are not having time to exercise because they put their family and friends needs before theirs. Be creative in your time. It could be simple or parking further away from the parking lot. Now, who does that? Okay. For example, and create ways to increase your physical activity on a tight schedule. I don't think that'll be parking farther away from the parking lot from your job. Not too many of us gonna do that. Balance your life. Finding balance in your life sometimes it's hard when you're a caregiver, but yourself and your loved ones determine boundaries you will set in regards of yours. You can and cannot help. This will help you to maintain control of your life and help your loved ones who will be active in the recovery process. As you say, no to helping in certain ways. It is common to feel guilty, but there is nothing wrong for yourself. Get help. Remember that therapists, counselors, and also other support groups are not the only individuals with a mental illness. Seeking professional help will help you to go and find more ways, of releasing the stress off of your back. Now you do have the life coaches that you can go to. We have here one on Facebook, Jay Wilson. No. And last but not least, sources: National Alliance on Medical Illness, mental illness. Mental illness treatment saves money and makes sense. National Alliance on Mental Illness Fact Sheet 2007. I'm going to read that one again because you need that. National Alliance on mental illness treatment that saves money and can make sense. And this is through the National Alliance of Mental Illness Fact Sheet. I'm not going to go through all those sheets like that, but I want to pause right here because I wanted to ask, has anyone during the pandemic noticed more anxiety, depression? Have you found yourself crying or arguing more with your spouse? Has or even arguing with your kids? Is it putting a strain on any of your relationships within your household? Or have you found this to be a time that you could bond with your family that you didn't have time before because of all the games, different, taking kids to their games, to all the different jobs, your hours. This gives you more than just that, what, 1 or 2 hours that you may see one another. How did this pandemic work for you? And this is simply all I wanted to do on this video. And anyone that comes in, listen to the video, I just simply ask you to make a comment below because we will hear more about this conversation before the month is over, which we have more months to cover, or more things to cover for the month, I should say. But this is one that I felt like I had to go ahead and jump on. I want to thank the three ladies that was here. And I pray that somebody, this helps somebody in some form or fashion. And if you like this, please hit like, subscribe, and share. Thank you. Thanks, ladies, for coming. Interested in mental health. This will not be the only day, and this video will be up left. Hopefully, someone will come by and listen because mental health is very much alive. Who do I have with me? I see the number 3.